Good evening. Good evening. Can you hear me? Give me a one. I'm sorry to keep you guys waiting, but you know I'm on CP time. If you can hear me, give me a one. You know I like to make sure the sound is good, make sure the people are good. Very good. I got Nicole. What's up, Nicole? Head Headhunter. What's good? What's good? What's good? You know I'm not gonna be too long-winded, but then I'll be long-winded. So by now, most of you have seen the exchange between Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion on social media. And people are wondering what the hell is going on. And I will say this for someone who has covered many trials, criminal, I've covered mostly criminal trials. This is just astonishing to see this when you're so close to a trial. There was reports that DNA was uh, DNA was discussed in the hearing today. Well, that hasn't been confirmed. That has not been confirmed. That DNA was discussed in the hearing today. But I would just say that this case, Megan is the alleged victim in an assault case. You guys got to pay attention here. And I will tell you, I covered another high-profile case many years ago involving a gun and assault. And this was the case of Puff Daddy and Club New York in New York, Club New York in New York City, where while Jennifer Lopez wasn't on trial, rapper Shine, who's now an ambassador, and Diddy were on trial, and they were represented by Johnny Cochran, Ben Brofman, and Shine's attorney. I can't recall who Shine's attorney was, but Puff had Ben Brofman and Puff had Johnny Cochran. So I've covered criminal gun cases involving high profile celebrities. This is actually the second high profile case involving two celebrities. And at the time, Shine was a celebrity and still is, and Puffy it still is, or more people call him P. Diddy or Love. Now, let me tell you the problem with this particular case. There's a problem with this case now. There's a major problem with this case just because of what occurred today. Now, as the alleged victim in this case, Megan Thee Stallion should have never sent those text messages. And I can tell you, any defense attorney and that has, has any skills might be able to get this case dismissed now. And can anyone guess why that an attorney may be able to get this case dismissed now? I want to see if anyone can figure out why an attorney could possibly get this case dismissed now. I'm looking at the comments real quick. I'm gonna see if anyone have their thinking caps on. Okay, so the minute those text messages were sent out, this is a high-profile case. It's being prosecuted in LA County. A defense attorney can make a motion. No, not the DNA. The jury pool that would preside over a case like this has been tainted. It has been tainted. Why in God's green earth did Megan send those text messages out? And while Tory sent the text message out, or tweet, excuse me, social media post, was a post. This is a chess move. This is a very ingenious chess move. Tweet and delete don't really matter. It was tweeted. It should not have been tweeted. And now it's the top story, as you can see, is on TMZ. It's this story is on other blog sites, and it's actually trending right now. If you have no problem in winning this case, or you believe that you have all the necessary elements to win this case, you don't need to be saying anything. Any criminal, anyone involved this close as a victim in this trial, and that's the defendant in this trial, neither one of them should be communicating through social media or anything. Because now one person released actual evidence that could be used in the trial. So if this evidence can be now used, it probably won't be, it might not even get admitted in the trial now. That might be the evidence that they needed to win this case. Because it went to social media, people were able to capture it. So now the defense attorney will argue that, Your Honor, this should not even be admissible. This should not even be admissible. Because the victim actually potentially has poisoned the jury. And this doesn't go to if she's telling the truth or not. This goes to, he's the defendant. He has the right to a fair and impartial jury. The releasing of the text messages may make some juries partial to what Megan has alleged. Is anyone following me here? Okay, someone said the text message had been put out already. You got to understand something. If it was put out already, it was no indictment prior to it being put out. There's an indictment, and there's a potential for a trial. And why is the victim in the case still putting out messages when the prosecutors already have the case? It still shouldn't be, you still shouldn't try to manipulate the jury, because there are going to be motions filed for to get the case dismissed. It's going to be motions filed to get the case dismissed. And I don't know why either one of them are communicating with each other. It's almost like someone knows what this outcome is going to be already. And if you believe all the information that the prosecutors have is going to help you win your case, you don't need to do anything. You just got to fall back and let them do their job. And I'm sure your attorneys probably, that's why you delete. Your attorneys probably told you probably should delete these messages. Really doesn't matter because everyone's captured it. Everyone's captured it. So I just think that this case it may not go to trial. I mean, it's being played out. This is not a civil case. And if it was a civil case, you still don't show your cards. And if you believe that the messages that you release shows his guilt, was this done to try to, I'm just asking the question, was this done to try to preserve the integrity of the story of this case? I don't know. And then you have people like AK chiming in and attacking her, which has nothing to do with the case. So I really don't know why Academics is attacking Megan right now. I don't know why he's attacking her right now. He has nothing to do with this case. But you're attacking this woman who could potentially be a victim in an assault case. And you're talking about her music career like this is going to determine whether or not she's going to be a star or not, which is kind of weird because she is very talented. So I think people like that should just fall back and not do this. Come on now. Why are you attacking this woman online that she hasn't even had a day in court and you're attacking her? I don't get that. Even if AK saw anything, what is he attacking this woman online for? I don't get that. Please, someone help me understand that. You're talking about she doesn't own her masters. I mean, what do you like? The girl lost. Okay, I'm not going. I'm not part of her team or anything, but I would just say that statements like that is very destructive for the process. People need to have their day in court. People need to have their day in court. And when you have a big platform and you're attacking a alleged victim, you're attacking her. What does that say about you? If you're attacking this woman, give her a chance to be heard. Whatever the outcome is, he could be acquitted. And they find nothing, he did nothing. But to attack her without having going to trial is kind of crazy. And if she's not telling the truth, it will come out in the wash. If she's made up this story, it will come out in the wash. Because there are people that are on the witness list that are going to testify as to what actually happened. And if the jury looks at all the evidence and are able to determine or not determine that this is actually he was the one that shot in the foot, then guess what? Yeah, it's going to mess up our credibility moving forward on anything. And I'm very cautious to take anybody's side in a high stakes trial like this, unless I have firsthand knowledge of the information not to be true. Firsthand knowledge. And firsthand knowledge would be that A, I was in the car and I witnessed it, or B, I was told by either person this happened or it didn't happen. And that's not even firsthand knowledge. That's kind of hearsay. If someone admits that, hey, listen, I lied about it, I needed this to help, boost my career, that's one thing. But if someone's told me that, hey, she told me, and then you're telling me, that's hearsay. And I think that it's high stakes. This case has to get resolved. One way or the other, this case has to get resolved because her career is on the line. Her credibility is on the line. I don't think her career is on the line. And his credibility and his freedom is on the line. And if you're facing any jail time, you should not be doing any kind of communication with her. Because now your freedom, and guess what? You might get a jury that are mostly women, and they're going to look at the communication or the subliminal communication you might have. Right. It could have been alcohol involved, but the jury has to determine this. You can't fight it out on the line and talk about, listen, this is my proof. And he's saying it didn't happen. And then there was alcohol involved. The alcohol involved could pose a problem. Because that's going to be one of the things that the defense is going to bring up. The defense is going to say, Megan, how many drinks did you have the night of the incident? Because we saw the video of her bleeding from her foot in the street. We saw the bleeding, but no one saw what happened. And we don't know what would be the motivation for her to make up the story. Or we might know there may be, we don't know what the motivation was. But that type of information will probably come out later on. And if the DNA says if there's no DNA on the gun, that's not necessarily a proof that the gun wasn't fired by Tory. I'm just going to put it out there because you can wipe off a gun. You can wipe off the gun. And there was time between her getting out the car, a gun being in the car. You don't know. This is if there's no DNA on the gun, it doesn't really say a whole lot, because then they're going to argue that He wiped the gun off. I'm just saying. He probably didn't touch the gun. Or he might have touched the gun. I don't know. I wasn't there. And no one was there. But the lack of DNA on the gun, it may hold some weight with the jury. It may hold some weight with the jury. Or the prosecutor might argue that he wiped the gun off. You see how this can go? It's who's the best person to convince that jury one way or the other. So I would just say that children, calm down. Children, calm down. Megan, calm down. Tory, calm down. Let it play out in court. Don't do anything on either side to sabotage your case. I would hope that people are not making stories up for fame. There's a lot of that's being done. People are making stories up for fame. Clicks, views, cash apps, super chats. In their case, no, it's for the big bag. Oh, I have to be at the court. I have to be there. I have to be there. This could potentially be a very big trial. No one was killed. No one was killed. But the fact of the matter is someone's freedom is on the line. And for me, that's more important than anything. If someone's freedom is on the line, I want to know by no doubt that he was the one to fire that gun. And someone made a good point. If he fired that gun, it would be on his shirt, it would be on his skin. And did they take did they do all the proper examination? Did they see if there was any gunpowder on his hand? Did he have a chance to wash his hands? How fast did the investigation into the shooting? How fast did that happen? Did they sit in jail overnight and we don't know if they took his clothes or because if they took his clothes, and I think I don't think he had a long sleeve on that night. He might have a long sleeve on. There will be gunpowder residue on his clothes. There will be gunpowder residue on his clothes. And if it's not, that's a problem. Get that spammer out here, that JKC, get him out of here. Just get him out of here. Okay, so if they can prove, now listen, if they can prove that someone else fired that gun and they didn't charge him, they're probably not going to charge him. They might charge him. I don't know. Kelsey, I don't know. Because if she fired the gun, she's not talking. Why should she talk? The police, if the police rushed to judgment on Tory, and that he wasn't the person who fired the gun, they're gonna be hard pressed trying to put the case on the other young lady. So I'm reading some of the comments and everything, but I would just say for those two, don't do anything to sabotage your case either way, as a defendant or as the victim. Don't do anything to sabotage your case, because again, the attorney should. And the other thing, if the attorneys are leaking information, I ain't not leaking because there's no gag order yet. It was a gag order. I believe it was a gag order early on. But I'm going to post the documents once the transcript comes out. They haven't released it yet, but I'm gonna post. I'm gonna post what I can post, not everything. I'm only going to post what I can post. But yeah, this is high stakes. Oh, okay. I mean, people have different. I thought that too. Well, I can't tell you what I thought right now because I'm not biased one way or the other. This case can go either way. I just think that again, these young, they're young to me. They never been involved in a criminal case. So, they take their emotions to social media and they don't realize that it's at a different, it's at a in a different arena now. You're not going to win this case on social media. You're not going to win this case on social media, especially in LA County. So just think about that. And your teams, you both got teams. You got teams. I know, this is a case where a lot is at stake. And if he is exonerated, there are people that are going to be looking at Megan differently. And if he's convicted, yeah, it's I don't think that if he's facing a day in jail or 10 days, a year in jail, it's still a lot. But if they come back and say no, he didn't. Who owned the gun? Who was closest to the gun? Where were people positioned in the car? Yeah, I agree. Academics need to sit his butt down. Oh, no, don't sit down. Actually, don't sit down. He need to come hang out with me at the gym. That's my guy, but that's my guy. But no, actually, he's not really. But I get what he's trying to do. But as far as this is concerned, leave the woman alone. Don't be doing things. Don't be picking on the girl like that. That's just crazy. You know, don't do that. You're out there. It's not looking good. You're attacking this woman about her music, and we're talking not her music, but her ownership of her masters. What the hell does that have to do with a criminal case? What does that have to do with a criminal case? It looks cute when you're saying it, but it doesn't look cute. For a man, it doesn't really look cute if you don't, like for real. Now, if she's falsely accused you about something, yeah, I get it. Give her the smoke. But if you ain't got a dog in this fight, then what the hell are you talking about? You don't have a dog in the fight. You don't have a dog in the fight. And I'm still upset with academics on the way he was, you know, basically pumping up Takashi 6ix9ine. So yeah, I mean, you still gonna have to own that. You're gonna still have to own that. The whole Takashi 6ix9ine thing. You're gonna have to own that, player. The weapon was recovered. Absolutely, the weapon was recovered. But yeah, if you're involved in a criminal case, either as the defendant or the victim, let the lawyers deal with this. Because the judge can look at that and say, she's already sanctioned Tory already. So he has to be very careful. He definitely don't want to come to the inside. He wants to walk through those doors where everyone else is walking through when when the trial starts. If it gets that far, you don't want to be coming from behind the wall because they look at you differently when you wear orange coming from behind the wall. In the case you're trying to prove that you didn't do so, just I don't think you've been in this process before, but yeah, just fall back. Uh, I don't. I didn't mute you, so I don't know why you're muted. Um, and why would you be? You're not part of the live, so we mean you're muted. Come on now. It's just I want to take a second here to bring a lot of you got opinions here, and I just want to bring you up real quick and see if you can add to this conversation here. Hold on here. Okay, you can click on that link if you want to join. Let's put that link right there. I just posted a link and I'll post it one more time. You better follow that link. I even have the chat slowed down because sometimes on here I'm seeing this thing going like 50, 60 miles an hour. Well, the trial is going to be, and that's up to the judge. They haven't decided that yet. But I'm guessing that it will be open court. It will be open court. They haven't decided. This is just pre-trial motions. So yeah, I'll be in LA for the trial if it gets that far. Yeah, I agree with you, and that I agree with you. This is where I can catch them real quick and get them because they be going so fast. And I, again, I'm not a YouTuber per se, so a lot of this is actually new. We're getting better every day. Like I tell you before, every day we're getting better with this. And I would also say that you will see some other changes as far as sound quality and and I guess graphics is good. We got that, so it's good. Shout out to the stream yards. Okay, I put that link up there. So, sweetie, hold on a second here. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I think that academics is trying to push her buttons. I think that he's trying to push her buttons, get her off a game. Um, but she needs to just focus on her music. This, if the case is strong enough, it'll go the distance. Or they may turn around and offer, um, am I going to? Well, Cardi's situation. There is going to be a hearing on April 1st, but it's going to be via Zoom. So depending upon who has the Zoom link, can listen in. I want my mods to be like, if you're being disrespectful, you're getting deleted. But if let the comment come through, and I'm able to see if someone's saying something ridiculous. But I'm more importantly, I'm worried about the little spammers trying to put their little viruses on the comment section. So you get them out of here. I do want to see people's opinions, and only put them in a timeout if they're doing something disrespectful. Other than that, just let it flow. Yeah, the trial was postponed to April 5th because one party couldn't make it. Couldn't make it. They had an excuse, a legitimate excuse. And that's and again, I want to read. I'm not going to read what Ms. Blessing said, but I would just say that when you are putting text messages out right after a hearing, it almost appears that you're trying to do damage control. That's what it appeared. And I had to say when Megan put those text messages out, it appeared that she was trying to do damage control. And give me a one if you agree, give me a two if you don't agree. Give me a one if you agree, give me a two if you don't agree. But when she put those text messages out, it appeared that she was trying to do damage control, especially in light of the fact that it's in the court already. I mean, why would you do that? And then you have AK attacking you. Okay. I see Jerry said two. Jerry's the only one said two. Jerry, why don't you get on here and let's talk about Jerry? Because I got two twos. Okay. I don't listen. If you don't cover trials, you might not understand that you don't put evidence out that is going to be used, could potentially be used to help your case. You just don't do that. You don't do that. Like if you're the victim, play your position. If you're not the victim, um, that's another story. The one I said, if you believe that Megan Thee Stallion put these messages out to for damage control, and If you use a two, then you don't believe it. I'm not going to repeat the text message because they're evidence and they could potentially help. It's out there. You can just Google what the text messages are. Well, Jerry, listen to me, Jerry. Uh, she has a whole prosecutor to defend herself. This is a criminal case. She doesn't need to be putting anything out. Let the prosecutors do their job. So she has a publicist. Let the publicist do their job. She has a manager. Let the manager do their job. She has an attorney, personal attorney. Let the attorneys do their job. But her putting out these messages, it's not going to look good. I'm just going to say it does not look good. Why is the alleged victim putting out text messages right after a hearing? Come on. So hold on a second here. I'm gonna bring. Make sure your sound is good. You're centered. I'm gonna bring someone up. I want to hear. Her name is Intuitive Bliss. Intuitive, you ready? I can see you there. We're gonna bring you up here. We'll bring you up here.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you today?
I'm doing good, but you got a lot of darkness in there. I feel like.
I know. I didn't want to show my background. I was not going to come on camera, but I didn't want to be rude either. So I did come on camera anyway to the best of
Before we
my
start, what
ability.
is that flashing in the background, looking like a siren in the background?
Those are actually my earphones so that I can hear you because otherwise I won't be able to hear you.
Okay. All right. Okay. Look like Caddy is like. All right. So what do you think about this story?
First of all, I just want to compliment you on doing such a phenomenal job on covering this with integrity because this is such a gosh, it's a really hard topic to talk about because it kind of puts you in a split. Here on one
Absolutely.
end, we have someone saying protect Black women, but in the same sentence, you're tearing down your best friend in the beginning, as we heard. We've been watching this story for like 2 years now. So I have to use my own common sense. I cannot, just go off hearsay or what you want me to believe that comes out of your mouth. I have to go off your action and what you have shown me throughout this entire process. And throughout this process, you've shown me nothing, nothing but foolishness. You have an amazing platform. You are an artist, you're a celebrity. You could have done so many amazing things, even if it wasn't true, even if it was a mistake. I saw in your comment, somebody said that they thought that she was covering up for Kelsey, and that's why Tori is to blame. I partially thought that same thing for a moment,
Well, why?
because
Let me ask you this. You're not covering up for someone. You're accusing someone else of a crime. So covering up for someone and accusing someone of a crime could be a problem. You're putting instead of if you were really covering up for her, you shouldn't even went forward with any case.
absolutely.
Because now
But
you,
she didn't. The state did. See, the problem with people, I think people fail to realize is once the state takes over, it's no longer in
right,
your hand,
right,
especially
absolutely, and that's a
if it's a
fact.
case of domestic. So we have to see where she's sitting because I look at the fact that she's not moving, nor has she made any legal movement throughout this case. The state has been the one pursuing, but you have yet to stand forward and say yay or nay to this happening. So you're leaving everyone in confusion. The only reason why I said that I agreed with that type of comment was because she's not the one prosecuting. You're not the one saying anything in court, but you have everything to say on social media. And it's like we keep catching lie after lie after lie. And
So
it's
I don't mean to cut you off, but the question then should be asked: if the state didn't pick up this case, would you have wanted this case to move forward? That's the question that someone should ask her. If the state, in the cases like this, especially when it involves violence, uh, the state has to, you're not, they're prosecuting the case for the state, meaning you may be the alleged victim, but the state takes precedence just because of based on the laws in the state to cover this. And you said something else that I want to talk about. You said that, and I'm seeing this too. Protect the Black woman. That's been going around like protect the Black woman. And I want to show a correlation between what you just said and what I saw in the Cardi B case. And I have to use that as a reference because I covered the trial.
Mm-hmm.
Protect the
I
Black
saw you
woman.
there.
Lovely T was being attacked. She's a Black woman.
That's right.
She was being attacked. And when I listen to that, protect the Black woman, but you're attacking Lovely T. So, we have to be very careful when we say that, because you don't want to be under a banner of protect the Black woman when there are Black women that have contributed to some of the problems that are happening to, and I just say some Black women. And the other part to that is we have to be very careful in any movement that we're trying to be a part of, and making sure that your agenda is parallel to the movement's agenda, and it has to be done with factual integrity, and because there are a lot of men are in prison for lies.
That's right.
There are men that go to jail 25, 40 years, and they come find the victim lying. So
well, more importantly, the Black woman's integrity has been compromised a lot. And that's why I even spoke about the statement, protect Black women, because I am a Black woman. And that affects me in my day-to-day. That hurts me.
I commend you for saying that. You know why? Because it can't be us against them. It has to be the good against the evil, the lies against the truth. And I don't care, Black woman. Well, I care about Black women. I ain't gonna do that because my mom will look at this and say, "Hey, what the hell are you doing over there?" I just want that you support the Black women that are doing it honestly and not having an agenda. There's some people out there right now that, because they're so mad at a situation they were in, they're on this campaign to destroy men. It's just,
Well, really, we're destroying each other. It's not just to destroy men. I don't mean to even speak on this topic because it was so gross to me. But the Mr. Tommy Sotomayor situation, and a couple of my coworkers and I, we sat back and we watched that, and we were just mortified because it showed a lack of integrity for someone in his age range, number one. But you have a platform and you speak. But for you to handle that situation the way you did and tear down the way you do, that's very hurtful. We as a culture ultimately need to use more discernment. And I'm trying not to be spiritual in this conversation, but I that's a word I have to use because that is what it is. That's one word. You have to use discernment. When you're listening to broadcasters and podcasters and you're choosing, that is an energy. You have to be mindful of what you're taking in. And when you use context, protect Black women, see and remember what your name is attached to, because that is how you're being viewed. So for us, culturally, and I hate speaking culturally because I believe in one race, the human race, but we've gotten to the point to where if we really truly desired alignment within the culture, there needs to be integrity, there needs to be discernment, and there needs to be true leaders and not people who are shapeshifters, showing people one way and being a total opposite behind closed doors. So that's why.
And that's important. And, I actually was on Tommy Sotomayor's stream several years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw a video that disturbed me a couple of days ago where the woman was being berated in the street and being called all kinds of names. And you don't do that. Like, you just don't do that. Even if you feel that you're in the right, you gotta choose your battles.
Why? That's right. That's right.
You gotta choose your battles. So that depiction of those two, well, first of all, most men can have an advantage over women, like the physical advantage, most men. So the energy that was going back and forth, and you threatened, I'm gonna go and pull a gun out the car. What the hell? What's going on here?
But guess what? I want to point out something that people may have not even acknowledged. In that video, that lady name was Shay Means, I believe. If you just watch her body language, just pay attention throughout the entirety of the video, you could see her patience. You could see her spirit when it rose, when it was no longer a part of her control. So I acknowledge that as us as women, especially Black women. And like I said, I don't want to, you know, categorize anything, but it shows the fight that we've had to endure so much that it shows publicly and people fear it because they don't understand it. That right there, when she reacted, I saw trauma. I saw someone who was basically, that wasn't within that one moment. I think a whole bunch of situations flashed before her eyes, and it was a trigger. The same thing with Tommy Sotomayor. When he thought that she was about to expose his personal business, he started igniting the attacking on this young lady. And she tried to be patient. She said herself, for a while, I wasn't even going to say that we even knew each other, but it came out because there was a elephant in the room. So we have to be mindful of the energy we keep and how we allow other people's energy to control us, because that could have been avoided.
Right.
That
But
could
let me
have
ask
been
you a question.
avoided.
Are you referring to the one where they were outside of cars?
No, I'm talking about the video of the fight between him and the young lady, Shay Means,
I,
at
I
the
saw it.
Fresh and Fit
I was referring
podcast.
to another video that I saw, but I might look at that. But is it? Oh, this happened in the studio.
Yeah, this was recent within the past couple of days. It was
Mm,
disgusting. And like I said,
mm.
he has some childhood issues, something deep within him that he needs to heal, because it's not just one person. This is a repeated personality trait that he has.
Mm.
So you have something within you that needs canceling. You need to go back and revisit your inner child and heal those wounds, because it is showing, that little baby showing this behind out here in the streets. And you need to
Yeah,
tame that child.
there a lot of people who don't want to get counseling, even though it's when you tell like me or someone a male gender, well, you probably should go get counseling. Sometimes we view that as a a jab at you, but in reality, you need to talk to people so people can probably help you work through whatever that is.
It's
And if you
fear.
don't,
It's fear because people don't want to share their deepest, darkest secrets with a stranger
right,
because of fear of being judged. They don't
right.
want to relive that pain. So it becomes a
And it's
mindset.
trust.
It
That's
is
judgment.
very
It's
much
trust
so.
too. It's trust. You know what they say? The best secret is the one never told.
Exactly.
But then, you know, if it's something that's going to really harm you for life, you might want to get counseling. Then and I had to say, sometimes you go sit with your priest and you tell them, and then you see what's going on with that, and you sit there and talk to your minister, and you see sometimes that can go crazy. At the end of the day, you got to be able to trust the person you confide in.
It
One thing
is.
with my company, like I have a media company, I have clients that I would never reveal anything that was said in confidence. Never.
Yeah,
It's
because you're
only
telling them
when
in confidence.
right,
It should not ever
only
leave that space.
in this inception. If I'm accused of something, and for me to reveal that would expose the truth, then yeah, but you don't have to never worry about that because they come to you because they trust you. And a lot
That's
of
right.
times you don't have people in your inner circle. You may have family members you can't even go to because you don't know how they're going to handle it.
hmm Because judgment is real. The one thing that they say that we shouldn't do in the Bible, we as humans feel we have the right to, and we don't have that right. Prejudgment gets so many people hurt. You just saying negative things and you lying about somebody's name and that's their name, that's their integrity, that's their legacy. You
Absolutely.
cannot do that.
Absolutely.
That
And
is that's
I just had this conversation a couple of days ago. If you don't know me and you making up stories about me, that's a problem.
it is.
It's a problem. And some people say, "Well, no, don't talk about it. Oh, just let it go." Yeah. But it's funny how people can tell you something that don't affect them directly.
That's
It's so
right.
funny. But if you have children and you have children that are, obviously, I would hope my children is going to outlive me. You know,
Amen.
you got to keep the record straight. You got to keep the record straight. And then obviously, I can talk to them and say, "Hey, this is this." But social media has become such um, a blessing and a curse. The guardrails are not in place, and people just say anything because they
hmm
can monetize these. monetize lies. It's just
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Where back in the day, not even back in the day, I spent thousands of dollars on equipment and
Yeah.
resources, and and there are people that sit home and don't do anything but make up lies and say, "Well, let me get a mic. Let me get a
They
mic."
make the most money. You're not built for that. You're not. Let me tell you, the people that keep it the most real don't get attention. But when you lie, my God, when you make up a tale, people love that, the
Yeah,
thrill of a
a
tale.
lie don't care who tells it.
That's right.
A
Doesn't
lie
have a
don't care who
name on it.
tells it. And I just hope Megan is not lying, and I just hope she's not lying because this would be another example of what someone falsely accused is going through.
I'm gonna tell
I
you
just
something though. In all secrecy, if she is lying, she still has an opportunity to turn this
to clear.
around. She can turn this around. She's never been at a loss from turning it around. She's never been in danger of that. She just has to want to do it and takes what comes with it.
Well, let me
Because
say this.
if she says this, look, she says, hey to all my hotties, I just want to take a moment to tell you guys there's been a major misunderstanding. I was inebriated during this time and I made a major mistake. And I'm terribly sorry. And for this, we need to uplift this man because I have wronged him. And for wronging him, I am going to make this right. You're a musician, now make a song together if that's all you can do. But you even saying that much shows a class of woman to where the people could never tell you down.
That's right.
Even if your enemies tried. You know why? Because that integrity is held high. Because nobody's expecting you to be that honest. That's something people don't do, not publicly. But for her
That's
to
right.
say and admit, hey, I was wrong. What an example for stand up for black women. What about that stuff she was talking? That would be a beautiful layout, a beautiful recovery. Talk about
Absolutely.
sports. She'd have it in a bag if she did that. But we don't think I don't believe that she got that takes heart. That takes inner
But that
strength.
takes courage.
That
That takes
does.
that takes doing the right thing when it's not
Beneficial.
beneficial. It takes that, and I think even the prosecutors would give her a pass because one, if she was enumerated, and guess what? I mean that can be a defense to
That's her freedom card right there because she can tell the prosecutors, hey, this is the reason why I wouldn't sit at the table and agree with you guys on this. That would set her straight. There's a lot Megan can do to fix this, if that's the case.
right.
If not, then guess what? That man needs to go to jail and he needs to do whatever the courts decide for him to have go on.
He needs to
That's
go to
it.
jail if he's guilty. He
Yeah,
doesn't need to go to
absolutely.
jail if he's not. You know, because again, like I said, there are people that have gone to prison and they're not guilty.
That's
We
right.
don't we don't want this to wait 10 years down the road that she says, okay, maybe I was drunk. Oh no, 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 no. We are, a lot of us are already in servitude for crimes we didn't do. We don't need, people, look like us helping the system do what it
That's
do,
right. That's why I threw out the apology. If she did it that way, that would make the culture like she's under somebody like Jay-Z. Do you know how that would make him look for having someone so
Yeah, it's a lot of
integrable?
pressure. It's a
It's a
lot
lot of
there.
points that come with that. But
But the
maybe she
whole
doesn't
lot,
have the right people in her ear like I'm speaking. Because you have to have wisdom in your ear. Who's really surrounding you, representing and PRing for you?
right.
Because this should have been cleaned up.
If it's something to be cleaned up.
Absolutely.
I don't
But
I don't want
the way that the documents, the way that they've been saying that the documents are, because I haven't seen anything, I don't know anything, but the way that the social media has been portraying it, you would think that it's something else. And I wish that this would be over because neither of them can speak their truth, no matter how bad we want them to. It's in the court's hands now. So we all are on court's time. Not Meg's time, not Tory's time, the judicial time. Very different
right.
operation.
And that's why I said they both need to stop sending these text messages, these tweets, and social media posts out. It's not making the case better one way or the other, and it's tainting the jury pool because he can turn around and say, "Hey, this jury pool's tainted. She done released evidence could show that I didn't do it," or it could be, or the jury can look at this like, listen, a lot of people are following the story in LA County because that's what's going to have to be heard at. A lot of people following the story. So why would you do anything to one way or the other to harm your case? But Miss Bliss, I appreciate you coming on the platform.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for offering up, some wisdom and sensibility, and hopefully they will see this and they may even consider what you're saying or what I'm saying.
Amen to that. Goodbye.
So yeah, guys, that she definitely nailed it in so many ways. I do appreciate her coming on. I dropped the link there if you want to come up. I'm not charging you to come up to talk. Some others are. They charge you for comments. They charge you to even leave a comment, answer a comment. But yeah, you can come up here and you can. I posted a link twice. And this is the type of conversation we should have, because that night people were drunk. And I can tell you a story. That's just why I don't drink. I don't drink hard liquor. Very rarely I drink hard liquor. I was in a situation many, many years ago where I was at a club. Story time. I don't know if I should tell you too much about this, but because I drank alcohol, I reacted differently. And I could have been in jail for the rest of my life. And I realized then that I didn't need that part of me. And it involved a friend, and it was unfortunate. It was fortunate that I had people around me that made sure we both were good. In that brief moment, my life could have went a totally different way. So I get it. Alcohol can skew people's thinking. And I just hope that if this is a result of alcohol and someone else doing it, yeah, because you're drunk and you got a gun in the car, don't mix. You're drunk or everyone's drinking and there's a gun in the car. Yeah, it definitely is going to have a different turnout. Anyone else want to come up? That's right. They don't, and they are usually their alcohol, their liquor stores and all in the hood. When I grew up in the Bronx, it was a liquor store literally every other block, and I used to say, "How the heck are they making money?" They literally had a liquor store outside my grandmother's building. I grew up in the projects, and I used to look at the liquor store because I used to know they closed at a certain time, 10 o'clock. I could look because she lived on the 18th floor. I could literally see that liquor store. When those lights went out, I already knew it was time for me to hit the bed because I was young. And my grandmother, she had strict rules that you need to hit that bed at 10 o'clock. It's sad that we got all these liquor stores and in black communities, too many of them. It's just ridiculous. And we don't see it, but it's there. That's why I don't even accept any alcohol sponsors on our website. None. And I've been getting pitched for alcohol, and I don't. No, we're not doing it. I'm sorry. Renee said, Renee, you want to come up and say that? Megan is standing 10 toes down that Tory shot her. So why are we claiming she's lying when neither of the parties have stated otherwise? Make it make sense. This is why you have a trial. This is why there'll be a jury of his peers to determine if that happened. You can stand 10 toes down and for the public, but You have to be able to stand 10 toes down. And I hate to use toes because she was shot in the foot, so I don't really want to use toes. You would have to stand firmly on what you said uh, in the courtroom. And he's saying it didn't happen. She said it did happen. This is why you're in the court now. This is why you're in the court. So I would just say for the both of them, Megan and Tory, get off social media about this case. Just get off social media about this case. Let it play out. So I said, who's to say she isn't lying? That's what the jury decides. You can't negate from the fact that this goes to court. I know you'll want to believe one way or the other, but it's now a criminal case. And are we even concerned about the outcome in the courts, or we just want to just take sides now and just let it be dropped in the court system? Would that make sense for you? Because the state can just say, no, we'll drop this case. And then they'll be going back and forth, and saying, he shot me. I didn't shoot you. You wanted to build your career up. Or she can say, no, you're trying to build your career up with my name. So it can go back and forth. And I think that people that are, are not really adding to the situation, like AK, like, come on, really. One thing I don't want to see is her being attacked. Her being attacked. I don't want to see that. I just don't, I'm talking about academics and what he said to her about her career and all that stuff. I mean, what's that got to do with this case? Just fall back, homie. Just fall back. There's no reason for that. You're giving us brothers a bad rap. Get it? Rap, hip hop. You're giving us brothers a bad rap. Just fall back. I hear you, Renee, I hear you. But you're not gonna win this case in the public. You're gonna win this case in court. Do you want the guy to go to jail? You don't. If you don't want to go to jail, just say you were drunk. You don't know. Because if you don't know for 100%, if there's 1 ounce of doubt, you have to take the stand in this case. Megan has to take the stand in this case if it goes to trial. And if you have any doubt that he was the person who shot you, they're not going to convict him of anything. Because there's a shadow of a doubt. And the criminal case, you got to prove it. You really got to prove it. So guys, I dropped. Jerry didn't want to come up. Jerry, you talking a lot. Jerry, come on the platform and let me hear you. Come on, Jerry. I'm inviting Jerry up. I see you, Jerry, out there. Come on, Jerry. You're in the bushes. You want to come out? Because you sure making a lot of comments, Jerry. Or Renee. How about Renee? Because you two sound very passionate. If we want Jerry to come on the platform, Renee come on the platform. 1 for Jerry, 2 for Renee. How about that? 1 for Jerry, 2 for Renee. They want Jerry up. They want Jerry up. What's up, Jerry? Ladies want you. They want Renee too. But wait a minute. They want both of you. Yeah, how about that? Come on, Jerry and Renee, you both come up. Thank you, D. Jerry and Renee, you're coming up. And I have my audience is probably 70% woman. But Jerry, come on up. Don't attack Jerry who comes up, and don't attack Renee either. I'm putting the link out there. Let's see who's gangster enough to come up here. I'm up here, so you come and join me. Maybe you can school this OG. I see what we're doing here. I see what we're doing here. But good. Listen, that's all I have. I appreciate you guys coming in, chiming in, you know, and appreciate Miss Bliss for coming in. She definitely brought a good perspective to this situation, you know. Uh Headhunter, Jerry ain't with it. He ain't coming up, and Renee ain't coming up. I would even bring listen, I would bring your two up. You don't have to get on camera. How about that? I'll bring you up. You don't have to get on camera. How about that? I'm gonna give you an opportunity again, Renee and Jerry. Come on. So why he's calling me out? Why is he calling me out? I'm calling both of you out to come up. You're very passionate about this. So yeah, I'm giving you a shot. I'm giving you a shot. Because you could, you know, if you lived in the LA County area, you could be potential jurors as well. You know, I think everyone should do their civic duty. And you know, if you get that notice to appear. I got the notice 3 times. 3 times. Sat on 2 juries. Yep. You would get that protein. I know, Renee. I know, Renee. But you can get it. You can mix it up with us here for a minute, and you'll be more hyped up. This will be your this will be your booster before you get to the gym. So I don't know if you hit the bag or whatever, but when you come on this platform, it gets fun. But go hit the gym. It'll be another time, Renee. We're gonna see how the outcome is, and outcome is. Man, you both got excuses. You at work, she's going to the gym. Can't call in, but enjoying it. It's all good, Jerry. I ain't gonna bust your chops, man. All right, Renee, do your thing. I'm actually gonna get out here because I actually have a date. I have a date with an Indian restaurant. Like I hit the restaurant. Guys, I appreciate you coming on. Leave a comment, like, share. As a matter of fact, I got 154 watching right now. Can you do me a favor? Go over there and hit the like button. Just hit the like button. What's up, Angela Carter? Go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hey. Hey. Is Gemini in the building? Let's see Gemini in the building. All right. I'm looking at my tweets as well. I'm going to this really cool Indian restaurant. They have, it's spicy. The only thing about the food is so spicy. Oh my God. But I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'll do Indian at least twice a month. I'll do Indian. And pretty the food's pretty it's pretty good. Um, I love cooking, but I'm taking a night off, a few nights off. You're not in. Come on, Parker. You're not in Atlanta. So stop playing. You're not in Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta, guys. My mods got to do their thing. I got to do my thing. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Before you leave out here. Hit the subscribe button, and I'll let you guys know uh, when I will be broadcasting updates on this case or the other two actually one just finished, the hate crime case. That's done. And before I leave, I want to just give pay my respect to the Arbery family, Ahmaud Arbery's family. This is the day he died 2 years ago. So it is an anniversary of his death. And I want to give my condolences to Marcus Arbery, his father, as well as Wanda Cooper Jones, the mother, who has been steadfastly making sure the world knows what happened to our son. Yes. All right, guys, I'm out. Peace. Have a good evening.